Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live 0084 hashtag silver. All right. So today is the silver episode, and I'll get into why as I get down into the note section. So, in the note section, I have all the same links from the last episode. Bitcoin Silver, make Bitcoin decentralized again. And also, there's a link to that. It's a Bitcoin talk, same thing. Bitcoin Platinum, the true decentralized Bitcoin, fair, proof of work, multi-algo. That's also a link to the Bitcoin talk forum. Bitcoin Uranium, make Bitcoin great again, radioactive coin. Another Bitcoin talk forum. Um, so uh, I'm going to get into mainly, obviously, Bitcoin Silver. I'm going to just talk about that. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. So it's going to be more than 10 minutes here, but hopefully you don't mind. Um, what is Bitcoin Silver? That is a link to the Merkle. Another one is that was quick. Bitcoin Silver already coming. What's to make Bitcoin decentralized again? That's a crypto analyst. I think that's more of a blog. I'm not sure. In the note section, there's also another fork, the Bitcoin Silver fork. This is coming from CryptoCoinMastery. After that is Bitcoin creators announced a new Bitcoin Silver fork. That's from the Friedman Club. Another article is Bitcoin Silver wants to make Bitcoin decentralized again amid more 2x rejections. So if you notice, I'm going, those are all articles about Bitcoin Silver. But you notice that I put them in some kind of chronological order from newest to oldest. And I'll get into the reason why I did that. And then also in the notes section is something that I always keep track of, and that's always some kind of criminal complaint against a Bitcoiner. So in this criminal complaint, it's the United States of America versus Bradley A. Stetkiw. I don't know how to say his last name, but Stetkiw criminal complaint. That is actually the link to the actual complaint itself, which I will go over this episode. And the article that's related to this, and I got two of them. Michigan man charged for unlawful Bitcoin exchange. And that's the CoinDesk article. But the original source is Michigan man facing charges for running unlicensed Bitcoin exchange in Bloomfield Township. And that is the clickondetroit.com news. So those are two articles that I'm sourcing that information from, as well as Salt and Pepper. That was his Bitcoin, local Bitcoins username. And I have a link to that as well. It's all in the note section. Sorry if this note section is getting too long. How you doing, Dual Overhead Camnus? Good to see you there. And so in the notes section again, Silver Surfer, Episode 1, The Origin of the Silver Surfer, Part 1. There's a YouTube link for that, and that's where I'm getting my meme from. You understand why, the origins of the Silver Surfer. And then, of course, I have the link to hashtag yes2x52, which is the meme right here. Also the meme for the pot of gold. And the address to the pot of gold. And I got some good news for everyone. I've reached, on current price, up to $27 in the pot of gold. So I'll be giving away 2 clues to the 24-word recovery seed. So we're getting this thing going. So if you have a chance, please donate to the Pot of Gold. I'd like to thank Dual Overhead Camness for making that donation. And also Brian McLaughlin. I could tell that's his address because I could tell that's all the treasure hunt giveaways that I get from looking at the donation. I could tell that's Brian. And also, finally, in the notes section, I have Hiroja Shibe Space Odyssey Network. Please go to her channel, subscribe to her, and watch her videos, as well as Skive. Go to his channel as well and subscribe to his videos. Excellent. All right, so we'll see who all is in the chat here. I only see Dual Overhead Camness here. All right, so let's go on with the meme here. The meme is, find me more bag holders. Hashtag yes2x. So if you know anything about the Silver Surfer, again, I have the origins of the Silver Surfer in the notes section as a video. Gives you a good idea of the backstory of the Silver Surfer. If you know anything about it, you'll know why. Silver Surfer is basically going out to find more planets in which Galactus will extract and suck out its energy. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, these hard forks, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Silver, Bitcoin Platinum, Bitcoin Uranium. That's what it's all about. Hey, Carlos, I see you in the chat. Good, welcome back. I'll be giving clues away to the 24-word seed code or the recovery seed, because I gotten up to $27 in donations. So I'll be giving away 2 words actually, or 2 clues to 2 words. Anyways, the whole hard forking thing, I have a theory here. I think Bitcoin Gold worked out okay. After all, the guy who started it sells GPU miners. And what better way to maximize his profits by starting another hard fork, maybe anonymously, because after all, Bitcoin Gold will already have its code up and running soon, November 1st, as well as replay protection soon, November 1st. And what better way to maximize your profit and your money and your time and energy by starting another hard fork and calling it Bitcoin Silver. And you got to keep in mind, it's the same algorithm. It's Equihash. So you could sell more miners, right? And on top of that, you could do another hard fork with pre-mined coins. So anyways, let me get to what I'm trying to get at here. I'll go on to the next thing here. And today's episode is going to be pretty long. I got a lot of things to talk about. Gold. So one who has donated to the Pot of Gold, the donation address on to the left where the arrow is, the private keys to the right. It's encrypted private key, so all you have to do is crack the code, crack the password, and it's all yours. Let me see here. Like I said, I'll be giving 2 clues for 2 words today. And of course, the QR code on the bottom is Yellow Fever for you. He gave me the idea of doing this. So that's his link to his channel, and subscribe to him, although he hasn't made a video in a while. On to the next thing here. Sorry for the bright screen. And it's loading. All right, so now you've seen this meme before. And the reason I put this up there is, here's my theory about Bitcoin Gold. Okay, Bitcoin Gold kind of happened. and you see the Bitcoin kind of gold here with the used car salesperson right there. And then we're talking about Bitcoin silver. And here's my thing. I think originally Bitcoin gold was going to be marketed by somebody else. You probably already know the person. It looks just like the used car salesperson, the picture here. You know, I won't mention the name, but if you've seen his videos, you'll see that he was approached to be the face of a new coin. I think later on he couldn't get enough money, or whatever reason he backed out, but it kind of fit perfectly with his profile. And it was like, the guy was into gold, he was into silver, probably into palladium and uranium by now, but he was a gold and silver bug, and so it kind of fit his thing. I don't know why he didn't take it on, but for whatever reason he didn't. But Adam Meister was really the one that broke the story. And I think that was an experiment. And so far, it wasn't a very good experiment, because it didn't work out. I mean, it worked out, but it didn't work out. So, Bitcoin gold was probably the first test. And there's probably going to be Bitcoin silver. I really do think that Bitcoin silver is going to happen. And although it comes out as a joke or a troll, what better way to maximize a market or create a market for your mining rigs than to hard fork a coin that you'll get airdropped? And considering that Ethereum is going to go to a proof of stake, and also the upgrade to Byzantine or Byzantine, I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, their proof of work algorithm for Ethereum has gone from 5 ETH a day to like 3 ETH a day. So it's reduced. So I think you're going to see a lot of reallocation in hashing power with GPU mining. And what better way than have these coins that are basically Equihash algorithm. You convert your GPUs to do mine for these coins. Even the Bitcoin Platinum and Bitcoin Uranium are all pretty much GPU mineable. So I think there's something to this. I think these forks of Bitcoin, they're really going to happen. And again, like I said, Bitcoin Gold has already, it's already happened, and pretty much we're just waiting for the code to be finished and replay protection to be added. What better way to use your resources, your money and effort that you put into making those, the code and the replay protection, than to make other coins for yourself, right? To make other coins, and some of them, most of them are already pre-mined, except for Bitcoin Uranium. That is not supposedly, there's no pre-mine to it. So that's my theory on it. And let me just get through the rest of it here. Oh, bright light. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's the address. I wanted to show you that. Let me see if I push F5, if it refreshes. Yeah, okay, it refreshed. So this is Brian's, I think this is Brian's address, and these are all my little treasure hunts that he's been able to win. So he's donated, looks like at the time, $15.30. And then this is one from Dual Overhead Camness here. So thank you guys for participating. I hope one of you is a lucky winner. Anyways, I will go ahead and give you the clue to 2 of the words. I'll give it to you in order, so you don't have to guess what order they go into. So the first word, I'll give you a clue. So I'm not going to give you the word, but I'll give you a clue. And the first word is, let me see. SegWit 2x is an blank on Bitcoin. So SegWit 2x is in blank on Bitcoin. So that's the first clue that I'm going to give you for the first word. And then the second clue for the second word is I believe I made a video, and you probably have to go back and through some of my videos here. I'm going to have to find it real quick. But I made let me see here. I'm looking for it right now. I'm trying to give you the clue without telling you. Let me see here. I made a video, and I wondered, what was Bitcoin good for? What was it really used for? And it was, oh yeah, I made my meme about Dobie Gray. So that's my clue for the second word of the 24-word recovery seed for the treasure hunt, which is this right here, to the treasure hunt for this. So these are all the donations that have come in. And there you go. So we're up to $27. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go on to some other stuff here. All right, so here's a story on what is Bitcoin silver. Now, this is what I think. Okay, so the first time with Bitcoin gold, the story was broke by a YouTuber, Adam Meister. And, you know, I think it was a way to story or to break news and to garner interest. But I think it kind of backfired because, you know, he didn't do his research, and he didn't know that the code was unfinished and that there was no replay protection after claiming that it's a friendly fork and that, you know, there would be replay protection and you're getting free money. Well, I think the sentiment after Bitcoin Gold hard forked, and it ended up being a little earlier, so people were a little caught off guard, that the community didn't like it at all. I'm sure a lot of them like free money, but overall the sentiment seems to be hostile against this hard fork. It's probably had some good intentions. So with Bitcoin Silver, I think it's going to be leaked to news media. So the segment is, the narrative is going to be, hey, there's a new hard fork coming up. It's called Bitcoin Silver. And that's just to get some people interested. Maybe not Bitcoiners, maybe people who are not Bitcoiners and don't understand, you know, they're noobs, and most likely they're going to try to buy Bitcoin in order to acquire Bitcoin Silver, or after the hard fork, buy Bitcoin Silver. So this came out today, the 27th. And so what is Bitcoin Silver by the Merkle? The one after that is also came out today. So there's two articles here that came out today, and this is one by a crypto analyst. And that was quick. Bitcoin Silver already coming. Wants to make Bitcoin decentralized again. So this is another one that came out today. So there's two articles that come out today. I think, again, they're for the purpose of getting non-Bitcoiners, like people who haven't been in this space for a very long time, interest. Because I've seen this pop up on Reddit, and I've seen pop up on Bitcoin talk forums and other forums. They also show up in the Google News. So it's another way of marketing. So I think they took whatever money they made off of Bitcoin Gold. I think Bitcoin Silver is probably the same people from Bitcoin Gold. Because what are you going to do with the code that you made and the replay protection you added in? You're going to reuse that, fork again, and call it Bitcoin Silver, give it the same algorithm, which is echo hash, and voila, you created a market for your mining rig. And then you're going to get the pre-mine from Bitcoin Silver. And here's another one, CryptoCoinMastery. Now this one came out on October 26th, so you could see that the news is being leaked out slowly over a period of time to get people interested. Now, I don't know if that's done intentionally or whether people are just sourcing from other sources, and it's just you can see the time frame in which the information disseminates. But here's another one, another fork, the Bitcoin Silver fork. So it talks about that, and this is October 26th. Eventually, I'm going to go back in time here, in which this is the Freedman Club, and you can see here it's breaking crypto news. This is a crypto news article. Bitcoin creators announce a new Bitcoin Silver fork. This is October 25th. So basically, you're getting an article come out every day about Bitcoin Silver. And if you go to the forum post on Bitcoin Silver on bitcointalk.org, there's very little information on it, really, on the original post. But it's getting a lot of chatter on that forum. So you can see information is being disseminated over a course of time versus having a YouTuber going to YouTuber or other social media. I think eventually, after the news circulates in social media platforms, forums, Reddit, Facebook, whatever, this is essentially marketing. It's news disguised as marketing. And hopefully they'll get a lot of noobs come in, look at this, and ask about it. And I think the days before the actual hard fork, then you'll see it on YouTube and other social media outlets with popular figureheads, people who are popular in this space, pushing it, pumping it, hyping it. And then here you go. This is actually the source that I saw it from. And this kind of gives a little bit more information because you can see the total views and the total shares in this. So it has over 41,000 total views. And this is October 25th. So 2 articles came out the day of when Bitcoin Gold was supposed to hard fork. Then you immediately have this article come out, which was sourced from Bitcoin Talk forum. And so it has 949 total shares. So you can see the marketing work at play here with so-called these news outlets, which aren't really news, they're marketing. And you probably see that as, you probably see articles come out and being peppered all over social media and other platforms, eventually shared and eventually getting out to more of the broader masses, the noobs, if you will, to garner more interest, instead of how Bitcoin Gold was done, was originally just thrown at some YouTuber. Very rough. I think Bitcoin Gold was a training for those people who put it out there, and Bitcoin Silver is going to be a little bit more refined, a little refined silver. So Bitcoin Silver will be refined a little bit more to be marketed and disseminated. And of course, most likely it's going to have a pre-mine to it. So either these people are being paid up front from the Bitcoin Gold pre-mine, or they're being paid up front from a potential Bitcoin Silver pre-mine. So, okay, they already have a Twitter. If you go onto the bitcointalk.org forum, I think they moved very quickly. I think they already gotten some GitHubs and other things from what I could tell. I haven't gone, I kind of looked up real quick at it, but they probably started getting other social media going real quick. So that's what I'm seeing. If you want to know how you start a coin or how the market's going to start shaping these forward coins and bringing it out to the market for you to all, accept. And of course, it's free money for any holders. It could be good for the Bitcoin price. Could be. I'm saying could be. There's a lot of things happening. SegWit 2x is coming up. Then these other Bitcoin hard forks are coming up potentially. So I still feel it's a distraction, but you have to take this into consideration because if you own any Bitcoins, it's going to affect your holdings. Let me see. What else do we have here? Okay. So this is the part where I'm going to get into Michigan man charged for unlawful Bitcoin exchange. Now, this story was sourced from another story, but I'll go over it real quick here, as you can see down here. And it's sourced from a Detroit TV news service, WDIF. A 52-year-old Bradley Anthony Stetkiw, I don't know how to say his name, but hopefully that's his name, ran an exchange through local Bitcoin's website. I'm not going to get too much into detail because I'm actually going to go through the criminal complaint and you'll see the details and you'll understand why he was charged as an unlicensed money transmitter and the difference between what I'm doing and what this person did. All right. And I've always said, and first time I've ever been on the Adam Meister show, my original story or news that I wanted to tell was how law enforcement are out there looking, all right, they're looking for you as a buyer and seller. And they're going to use you and try to arrest you in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of interesting. There are law enforcement out there who are actively part of the ecosystem, I could say. They're actually buying and selling on local Bitcoin, peer-to-peer out there, and they're tracking you. Not only they're tracking you, but they're also trying to entrap you as well. I'll get into that a little bit later. Let me read the quote here. It says, operating under the username Salt and Pepper, Stetkiw, I don't know, Stetkiw, I don't know how to say his name, bought, sold, and brokered, that's a key word, brokered deals for hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin while failing to comply with money transmitting business registration requirements set forth in Title 31, United States Code Section 5330. I'll try to explain it the best I can. That's a little misleading. You don't need to be a money transmitter to buy and sell Bitcoin, but the key word here is he brokered a deal. In other words, he was arranging trades that he didn't have any interest in, and he was getting a commission for it. So let me go on to the actual source of the information. So here's the source of the information here. And the source of the information is click on Detroit. So this came from Detroit. He's a Detroit. Michigan man faces charges for running unlicensed Bitcoin exchange in Bloomfield Township. And it was posted today, updated at 1:41 p.m. today as well. So posted 11:16 a.m. and then updated 1:41 p.m. all today, of course. So here you go. As it states, 52-year-old Michigan man, all right, was arrested, went by the username Salt and Pepper, and I'll get to that site as well on local Bitcoins. And let's see here. It says here, undercover agents allegedly bought over $55,000 worth of Bitcoin. Yes, $55,000 worth of Bitcoin from 2015 all the way up to 2017. And here is the actual criminal complaint and the affidavit, and I'll get into that. And the reason I'm going over this is because I want you, the audience, to understand that it is perfectly legal to buy and sell Bitcoin peer-to-peer. And not only that, you don't even have to register as a money transmitter. All right? But you have to do it in the right way, because if you do it the wrong way, you can be charged. Okay, you can be charged for being an unlicensed money transmitter. And it's just something so small. All right? It's a really small difference. It really is. And the difference, I'll tell you right now, the difference is ownership of Bitcoin. All right? Do not trade Bitcoins that you don't own. Now, if someone lends you Bitcoin, you own those Bitcoins. But do not try to broker deals. And that's what undercover agents are trying to do. Matter of fact, if you look up here, it'll tell you who the undercover agents are. Timothy Wise and Brian Randall were the undercover agents from Homeland Security. So United States versus Bradley A. Stetkiw. Filed 2 days ago, actually. So it says here that from July 2015 to June 2017, that's how long this has been going on. So this is an ongoing process. I know a lot about this because there's a good chance that I've been targeted as well. All right. And so what you have to watch out for is large transactions. Okay. Large transactions. The other thing is, are they trying to push the transactions a little too much? Like, usually people don't have $1 million in Bitcoin. But are they trying to push you to do $1 million in transactions? I mean, are they trying to push you to do transactions more than normal that you would normally do? Another thing is, are they trying to disclose to you what they're using it for? Like, are they trying to say they're using it to buy drugs? Are they using it to money launder? Are they trying to give you more information than you need to know? Now, depending on how you do things, they could tell me that they're a terrorist. It doesn't really matter to me, right? Because I'm not required to do anything, because I'm a user and not a money transmitter. There's a big difference. All right. A user has no obligation to report anything. A user has no obligation to, all right, no obligation whatsoever to do any background checks. Nothing. All right. So if they try to push these kind of things, they're pretty fishy. But it doesn't matter. As long as you have coins and you can fulfill that order, doesn't matter how you fulfill that order, as long as you're able to obtain those coins first. Either someone gives them to you on loan, in which you will pay them back, or you go out and buy them. All right. Or it's if you could set up an escrow, not local Bitcoin's escrow, but actual escrow through, either the bank is one, or even yourself. You can act as your own escrow agent, since you are the user, you're the owner. So you can go ahead and take the money. If they're going to give you, if undercover agents are going to give you tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy Bitcoin, why wouldn't you take it? It's quite long. I'm going to try to get over it as fast as I can. I'm just going to go over certain things. So Homeland Security, special agent with Homeland Security. All right. And if you look here, they're specifically been assigned to Dark Web Group, HSI Detroit dark web group. So there are agencies out there specifically targeting Bitcoiners, or I should say in general, cryptocurrency users. Now, this has been going on since 2015. And this is just for dark web, money laundering, things like that. Not the first time. Think about what's been happening recently. ICOs, SEC, airdrops, right? Airdrops and ICOs. So Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Silver, and the exchanges. CFTC. They're starting to crack down. Okay. So law enforcement cracking down on users who don't understand how to be users. Okay. Now you got exchanges and users being caught up into this ICO and any cryptocurrency out there, because all cryptocurrencies are considered a commodity. So the CFTC is going to be involved. Now, if you know anything, if you've been involved in this space, you'll know that a user is never, right, is never caught up in any of this regulation. The user is never caught up in this regulation. But you become a user and inadvertently become a money transmitter, an unlicensed security broker, all right, unlicensed exchange. If you start brokering deals, all right, if you start making deals when you become a third party, so that's the biggest difference. So don't be a third party. Trade coins or buy with your money, not somebody else's coins and somebody else's money. If you do borrow other people's coins, they become your coins. So you can borrow other people's coins and other people's money, to buy coins. You can borrow coins to sell to other people, but do not try to broker deals. That's the key word. Do not become a third party and take a commission. So let me see, where was I here? All right, it goes on to, it's very long. It starts explaining how the whole process is, what the person did. It's a 3 to 4 year investigation, and it's, very similar to the Silk Road investigation. Went on for a couple of years. So it explains how they found this person. They went to local Bitcoins, found this person by the username Salt and Pepper. In the notes section of, let me see here, if is it here? Okay, in the notes section of local Bitcoins. And they kind of explain what Bitcoin is and everything. Let me see, I'm just trying to get to the good stuff here. It's been a while, because if you see here, it says here each block releases 25 Bitcoins. So you know that they were doing this since 2015, when Bitcoin block rewards were still 25 Bitcoins. Okay, so it goes on to talk about Tor, the dark web, all that good stuff that law enforcement like to accuse Bitcoiners of doing. Another thing that I took note of is this part right here, where he talks about Bitcoin, regulation of Bitcoin exchangers. He cites an older version, okay, of FinCEN's regulation on person administrating, exchanging, and using virtual currencies, March 18, 2013. Well, there were 2 to 3 more, all right, 2 to 3 more letters that came out in 2014 and 15. So 2 to 3 more letters that came out. But of course, they're citing the oldest one that you can readily find if you Google it. It's hard to find the newer ones, because that one clarifies that users are not required as money transmissions businesses. Matter of fact, users are exempt from being a money service business. And not only that, but you can buy and sell to infinity, no limit. There's no amount of limit that you can make. There's no limit on how much money you can make as a user, as an investor. That's really key. Let me see here. So it talks about AML, know your customer law, and all this other stuff. So it talks about local Bitcoins. And local Bitcoins is not a safe place. It's riddled with undercover agents. Okay. If you become a buyer or seller, you'll become targeted. All right. If you're already on there, there's a good chance that local Bitcoins will freeze your account and then want your identification, and then they'll release your coins. So here you go. Let me see. Dual overhead camera says the SEC allowed the banks to create synthetic CDOs. Yes, which they did. It helped them out to make more loans, which almost collapsed the economy. And yet people who bailed them out are being turned into criminals because they own Bitcoin. Great. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it is. Wouldn't surprise me if the story came out where these people are being led to broker deals. They're being pushed because what you'll see what I'm talking about. So it talks about local Bitcoins, escrow system, and everything. It talks about traders and everything, and how they're in Helsinki, Finland, and up to 246 countries and 10,416 cities. Okay, so he was on local Bitcoins known as Salt and Pepper. You know what's funny? I recognize that name. So this is what he posted in his listing, is right here in this section. This is what he posted. I am the longest, most reliable and honest trader in Oakland County. Start this trade to arrange meeting time and coin availability. Meeting only at Tim Hortons, 6495 Telegraph Road, Bloomfield Township, Michigan, 48301. The location is at Maple, 15 miles, and Telegraph. Transactions not completed within 12 hours are subject to cancellation. Let me see if I get rid of that. So that's what the advertisement was on local Bitcoins that they saw. So based on that, there was a phone number. So they looked up the phone number and got a name, Bradley A. Stetkiw. All right, that's what the undercover agent did, also known as UCA, undercover agent. And then after doing that, they look up his driver's license, full name, date of birth, full address. And then after getting his driver's license, they look up his address, his driving record, the car that he drove. Okay, they're specifically looking for a target. Now, why they chose this person, I don't know why. Maybe because he was in Michigan. He was a target because he had so many trades. So he became a target, and they targeted Bradley Stetkiw. I don't know how to say his name. So that's how. So that right off the bat, they knew everything about him. All right, everything. They knew all the different ways of transacting. They interacted with him in different ways, pushed him in different, questioned him. Bitcoin at the time was already scary to trade, so they're even pushing the limits. So here we go. Okay, so here it is. In a total of 6 undercover meets, purchased approximately 126 Bitcoin. 126 Bitcoin. You know how much money that is right now? I need a calculator. 126 Bitcoin, let's just say at 6,000. I wonder if they still have those Bitcoins. That's approximately 756,000 right now, a current price of $6,000. So $756,000. I don't know what they did with those Bitcoins. I wonder if they're in some kind of like evidence room somewhere. So for 56,700 US dollars, if they kept those Bitcoins, it would be worth $756,000. All right. So you can see the transactions here. So let's see here. August 18th, 2015, purchased 1.81 Bitcoin for $500. Pretty good deal. All right. There's some other date and times here. It goes into, they talk a lot about what the limits are and everything. You can see the limits. The original limits was like $2,500. So when you first meet them, they'll do a purchase, small purchase, and they'll say, what's your limit? Now, if someone asks me what's my limit, I would say, I don't have any limits. And that's the truth. You, as an investor, as a user, you have no limits on the purchase or sale of your Bitcoin. If you need to borrow $1 billion to buy Bitcoins, there's no limit. All right. Even though I may not have money, I can borrow money. Or if you can find someone to borrow Bitcoins, there's no limit. All right. Someone can give you Bitcoins or lend you Bitcoins, possibly. All right. If you can find someone like that. So there's no limit on the transaction in Bitcoin. Absolutely none. So they're asking what the guy's limits are and everything, what he can do, and then they try to push those limits. So, and they also mention here, it's not money laundering, right? I'm just buying it. And, they just nonsense, absolute nonsense. Anyways, they get the chit-chatting and they try to make it seem really sketchy. Of course, how would you try to incriminate someone by otherwise making it sketchy to do? Let me see, 726,894 at current price. All right, I did it at 6,000. All right, so here's the next purchase, October 20th, 2015. Purchased almost 35 Bitcoins for $10,000. So 35 Bitcoins, what is that right now? Almost $200,000, $250,000 on a $10,000 purchase, people. Man. So this is documented, everybody. And then let me see, what's the other one? Okay, the next one. Okay, the price has gone up. March 22nd, 2016, right here. Almost 32 Bitcoins, $1,000, $13,700. Price has gone up a little bit. But what a deal that was. Right now, I'd be happy. I would be happy to pay, $14,000 for 32 Bitcoins. Let's see, what's next? Okay, so price has gone up a little bit more. April 20th, 2016. Purchase of almost same amount, 32 Bitcoins, but for $15,000. Now, the interesting thing is, this person, the way he phrased it, he stated that he charges a commission. That's the other problem. His commission was 5% on all these transactions, on very large transactions. Ironically, I too charge 5%. But I don't do it as a commission. What I do is I take the spot price, add a 5% premium on the spot price. That's my sell price to the buyer. All right. I don't earn a commission. I make a difference on what I bought it for and what I sell it for. Okay, there's that's it's a small little difference, but that's the difference. So when you say I charge a commission, well, no, I don't. I sell it for a premium because it's hard to get. And not only is it hard to get, but if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it from me. So there you go. That's the other thing. And this one right here, it actually says UCA undercover agent explained that she wanted to do what they could with Stetkiw, but to do the remainder with an out-of-state seller and pay Stetkiw with a percentage of whatever he was comfortable with. So they're setting him up right away. They're setting him up to be a broker. In this specific paragraph right here, part D, that you're looking at right here. So they set him up as a broker. So obviously he wasn't buying and selling his Bitcoin at that point. He was brokering. And that's when he became an unlicensed money transmitter. Okay, at that point. So that's the difference. It's a small little difference, but it's a big difference between a free man and a man who's going to trial for being an unlicensed money transmitter. So it goes on and on. I'm almost done here. August 31st, 2016. Price has gone up. Now it's only 25, pretty much 24 Bitcoins for $15,000. Price has gone up. Isn't that amazing? This is documented, people. This is incredible. Here's another one. That's August 31st and whatever. So it goes on. And let me see, what other final notes that I wanted to say? Okay. So after they did a transaction with this guy, they're tracking, all right, they're tracking his wallet after that. And to add to the case, right, that this guy is a dark market user. So at least one set of transaction was sent to an unknown Alphabet address. There is a way to know whether you're sending it to a dark market address. There's walletexplorer.com. And if you look up an address, it can tell you like if it's an exchange address or if it's a dark market address. The problem is, now the guy, I don't know what the guy's going to do. I think he did step over the line by brokering transactions. He was a third party in a transaction. So he essentially at that point became an unlicensed money transmitter because he became a third party to it. But just because someone gives you an address doesn't mean you're the one sending Bitcoins to the dark market. You're just giving an address to send to. Now, someone can give you now a person who has an account on a dark market, well, that's his address. And look how it was December 24th, 2015, 0.67 Bitcoin, 0.68 Bitcoin. I'll round it up. What is that? A couple $100? It actually says here approximately at the time it was $307 because this person sent $307 to a known Alphabet market address. He's guilty. Or it makes it look like he's guilty. Anyways. So conclusion. This guy's a money transmitter. Conclusion. And he did. Once he became a third party, he became a money service business, unlicensed money service business, a unlicensed money transmitter. A thin line, people. A very small, thin line. And you see again, it's where is it? Oh well, I don't see it here. Let me see. And there it is. Signed and sealed and delivered. So that's it right there. Hopefully, there's a link to it in the notes section. And you know, I'm listening to Whale Pool on YouTube. They're just getting this story, and I hear them talking, and they're crapping their pants because they're wondering if they can sell on local Bitcoins or not, right? So I'm seeing flashbacks of 2013 all over again when all these other arrests in Florida were made. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you're a user and you own those Bitcoins or the Bitcoins are yours, okay, there is no limit to how much you can buy or sell. There's no limit whatsoever. That's not what he's being charged for over dual hurricanus. He's not being charged for tax evasion. He's actually being charged for a criminal violation. This is a criminal complaint for unlicensed money transmission and money laundering. They're probably gonna slap in money laundering in there because it's so broad, and also not registering as a money service business. So they're gonna, you know, and those are very broad things too. And it's just one slip up. It's just being a third party in a transaction. That's all it was. That's all it is. And not only that, I think a lot of people and remember, I do this as well. I'm a user. I trade peer to peer all the time. And I'm confronted every now and then by some jerk who wants like a large transaction, but some reason can't come up with the money. Right? They want to do $1 million. Well, all right, give me a $50,000 down payment then. Can't do it. Because once that person does that, they enter into a contract. So there's ways where you can protect yourself. Ask for a down payment. Actually, and there's no limit to the down payment. You can ask up to 99% for a down payment. And if the buyer doesn't come through, all right, you can keep that down payment. So there's a lot of things you can do to protect yourself against. I wouldn't say they're bad actors, but I definitely think they are looking. They are looking for something. They're looking to arrest you. And you got to remember, they're incentivized to arrest you. They're not incentivized. Law enforcement, in my opinion, is incentivized to arrest you, incentivized to fine you, right? Monetary fines. They're incentivized to put you in jail because numbers count on your record. Numbers are a way to keep score. How many people you put in jail is a way to keep score of how your performance, your performance as a law enforcement officer or an undercover agent. All right. Protecting and serving is not how, you know, there's no incentive to protect and serve. The incentive is to take your money, to put you in jail, and to find you guilty. All right. And this is what Bitcoiners are faced with. Now, this is Bitcoiners trading peer-to-peer. Can you imagine the people who are doing ICOs? Could you imagine the people who are doing, you know, exchanges? They're being exchanges for these ICO tokens and these different commodities. And they haven't gotten arrested yet. And they think they're not going to get arrested. Well, you know, and it's going to be, the charges are going to be broad. Unlicensed money transmission, money laundering, being a money business service, being an unregistered broker, unlicensed commodities trader, unlicensed exchange. It's coming, people. And it's not just going to be Bitcoiners. It's going to be those meth heads. So anyways, that's my little rant on that. And then here is the local Bitcoins account for salt and pepper. I remember this guy. I remember this person. And look, 4 years, 3 months. Been trading 4 years and 3 months. They are targeting users who have been trading for a long time. Let's have a look at the account itself. The limit $100 to $2,500. Right? They're just going after anybody. $100 to $2,500. Let's see here. Last time, let me see. Maybe this arrest came early. Actually, 2 days ago. So user Salt and Pepper last seen online 2 days ago. Two days and 4 hours ago. So it does kind of go together the fact that this was October 10th. I'm sorry, October 25th, which was 2 days ago. Actually, 2 days ago. So, and last seen 2 days ago. So he was trading all the way up to 2 days ago and was probably most likely arrested. So there you go. You think it's safe to be a Bitcoiner? You think being a Bitcoiner is easy? No, it's not. You're constantly being targeted. You're constantly being, I would say, even persecuted. And they're coming after you for nothing more than trading, buying and selling Bitcoin. And they're looking for any reason to put you in jail. Ethereum people don't do that. Right? They're out there scamming with ICOs and getting away with it right now. These pump and dumpers, they're just scamming away. The Ponzi schemers, the pyramid schemers. And I would say they're doing more harm than anything because the money they're making is probably used to buy drugs. They're probably having cocaine parties right now with all the money that they're making. So if you're wondering why don't they just shut down local Bitcoins, because, well, first of all, there's nothing illegal with local Bitcoins because they're acting as an escrow. And if you act as an escrow, you're not a money transmitter because it's integral to the trade, integral to the transaction, to the buyer or seller. So local Bitcoins does not need to register as a money transmitter, even though they act as a third party, but they're integral to the transaction. When you become an escrow, you don't have to be licensed. So that's why local Bitcoin's not being shut down. It's actually operating as is just fine. Although there's a lot of changes to local Bitcoins, it used to be a lot more anonymous and a lot more scammy. It still is pretty scammy. I think it has been infiltrated as well. So I think there's a lot of law enforcement involved in local Bitcoins. And so that's probably another reason why it's allowed to operate. So it can infiltrate into the dark markets, because most likely people who purchase from local Bitcoins, the different methods of purchasing, there's a good chance, the people who are using it may be involved in money laundering, may be involved in the dark markets, because it's kind of considered anonymous in some ways. So local Bitcoins is really nothing more than a honeypot for law enforcement, in my opinion. It's become, first of all, it's highly centralized, and obviously it could be compromised. The system itself could be compromised. They could be given like subpoenas or warrants or whatever to cooperate and not tell anybody, and they're allowing users to come in, sellers to come in. And when you get on there and you try to become a seller, they'll let you load the Bitcoins onto the site, and they'll lock your account, and they'll force you to give your information, or they won't unlock your account, so your Bitcoins are stuck. And as a buyer, you'll open an account, you'll buy, you'll make your first purchase, and after your first purchase, your account gets locked right away, and you're forced to give information to get your Bitcoins that you bought. A lot of times people use the peer-to-peer, like person-to-person or face-to-face transaction. And that is probably the most anonymous way. The drawback is you're going to meet in person. So there's probably a very good chance the person you're meeting is a law enforcement officer or undercover agent. Like I've been saying since I was on Adam Meister's show about this. I've been saying this for almost about 2 years. And I feel like I have been targeted a lot, many times actually. And so, you know, this is the kind of nonsense that a Bitcoiner has to go through. And, you know, I don't think I have to go through this. And as a matter of fact, I know I don't. So understanding your right, understanding the law would tremendously help you. What else I got here? Oh. So let's see who else is in the chat. Oh, Brian. How you doing, Brian? Surgeon. Sorry. Surgeon C. How you doing? I see you're in the chat. I don't know, Brian. I've already given away the. Well, I didn't give away, but I gave the clues. I'll give the clues again. To the 24. Oh, sorry for the bright light. I will mention the 2 clues. So here's the picture, the meme or whatever. Let me see if I should. Okay, so I think Brian's in here. So this is Brian's donation. Let me just click refresh to see if it F5, I believe. Oh no, it's still going. But I'll let you know what the 2 clues are for the 24-word seed. So the first clue, SegWit is in blank on Bitcoin. So SegWit is in blank on Bitcoin. Now blank is blank. That's not the word. I'm just saying fill in the blank. And the second clue to the second word in the 24-word seed code or the recovery seed is Dobie Gray. That's the clue to the second word, Dobie Gray. So there you go. All right, excellent. And then last part here, I'm going to go over is the mempool. So I'm going to go over the mempool, and I'm going to do and then I'll conclude this episode. All right. So look at that mempool. My goodness, it spiked up to almost. It looks like it says 60 right here. I don't know what's going on. I see the mempool rising rapidly, but the price didn't do anything today, far as I know. Let's see here. I can take a quick look at the price. So right now the mempool is at 46,624 transactions in the mempool. And the price right now currently is at $5,736.39 on Bitstamp. It's actually going down. So it's not a little bit off its high of almost $6,000. yesterday, I believe. So what I'm seeing here is, looks like there's a divergence here. You're seeing a rise. It used to, yeah, I would see a rise in the mempool transactions, and then the price would go up. Now I'm seeing the rise in the mempool transaction, and the price is not going up. So something's going on here. I don't know if it's Bitcoin gold related, Bitcoin silver related, or whatever it's related to. Obviously, there's a lot of movement going on. I don't know if it's being spammed, but I don't think it's being. It's hard to spam these days. I haven't seen transactions like these unless there are a lot of transactions being moved around. So there's something going on here. I don't know what it is. And the fact that the price is not being pumped right now, that's concerning to me, because when I see a divergence, that's usually a reversal. So there's something going on that's reversing or going the other way. I don't know if it's the price, or I don't know if it's transactions, but something is not working the way it used to. There's been a change in how things work. So that's one thing I've noticed. And then let's take a quick look at the price. Yeah, I did see that Bcash was up today. So either everyone, I guess a lot of people are moving their Bitcoins and getting into other altcoins right now because most of their coins are locked up. Or the other option is people who have their coins locked up in these exchanges that are freezing their withdrawals, Bitcoin Gold. They're buying into Bitcoin Cash, exchange that didn't participate in the Bitcoin Gold stuff, and you could buy up Bitcoin, but it doesn't explain why Bitcoin's down. Maybe they're moving into different altcoins. I should check the coin market cap as well. But let's just take a quick look since we're here. I'm looking at Bitstamp. All right, so it just has to break that to go up any higher. I'll draw these two other simple lines. Simple lines. One right here, and the other one right here. Anyways, so you can kind of see that right here, the price is following in this channel, and you can see that it's touching the previous trend line right here at the bottom. And so it's kind of made a little channel here. Matter of fact, let me see if I can draw that line just a little bit better. Make it look more like an even channel. So something like that. So you can see a little channel forming, going down again. And so that's what you're seeing. It's working within that range. And even if I took out this, you can see that it's definitely following this line right here. This line from here. And so it doesn't look great, actually. It looks kind of weak. It'd be nice if it showed up pretty strong and pushed up higher above the all-time high. It has to break an all-time high to go higher. There's a lot of people who are hopeful and talking that probably went long. And if there's more longs than shorts, especially with people who are margin trading, if there's more longs in margin trade than shorts, usually the people who get long lose out. Because in this game, it's not where the majority is in their position. If the majority are in long, they can't be winners. They've got to become losers. And so the people who are margin shorting, they're the minority. They're going to be the winners because that's how this game works. The minority, the minority group wins the money, not the majority. Remember, there's like 90% of the traders out there lose money. All right, there's very few who actually make money. So that's that. Let me just go on to the weekly and see how the how that candlestick is looking. It wasn't as big, but it wasn't as small last time either. The last time I saw that red candlestick right here, it was really small. It almost looks like it was going to turn green. Now you see it being more red. It almost looks like a little hammer. And I don't really like seeing little hammers or big hammers as a candlestick. So as long as the wick of the candlestick is pointing downwards, the wick is on the bottom and it's red, that's usually an indication of downward pressure. That's my opinion. But overall, the overall trend is still up on a weekly. It takes almost a month before you realize the trend is going down, and by then the prices are low, so you're kind of screwed. Anyways, let me get out of this and then get into coin market cap real quick. Quick look at coin market cap and see where we are, and then that'll be the end of the show. The market cap is 168, almost 169 billion dollars. So it was 170. It's already gone down. Yeah, it's starting to turn red all over the place. It's more red. It used to be a little bit more green. Now it's turning more red than anything else. Bitcoin dominance is at 56.8%. Looks like it's bouncing off of that 55%. So we'll have to see. Anyways, let me get back to the meme here. Original meme. And I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for sticking around. I see Brian, dual overhead, Carlos, and Surgeon C. Thanks for chatting in the chat box. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you've got some more clues to the 24-word seed. Or again, you could find the recovery seed. Let me go to the pot of gold real quick, just in case. Oh, sorry for the bright light. Anyways, there's the pot of gold that has some Bitcoin in it. It probably will have some Bitcoin gold and maybe even Bitcoin silver. You suggest a Brave browser. I'll look into that. I just use Google Chrome a lot, so that's my thing. But I'll look into the Brave browser when I do these live streams. Maybe they'll work a lot better. So anyways, there's the QR code on the right is the private key. It's encrypted private key. If you can crack the code, the Bitcoin's all yours. So anyways, this concludes this episode. Feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment after the live stream, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.